Hello, I hope you're well. Now, you're joining me here on my last ride just the other day before I strip my bike back to basics, because tomorrow it's going to be dropped off at those friendly people at Delkevic Exhausts who are going to use it for their development purposes. Now, they will be photographing it with various silencers on it for all our perusal, and hopefully it'll come out singing a bit sweeter than when it went in. So there's my first mistake, because singing a bit sweeter than when it's gone in. It's actually singing really sweetly at the moment. But in preparation for the new exhaust to be fitted, I have taken off the windshield, I've taken off the top box, the rear seat, and I've returned it to normal as far as the DNA air filter is concerned, because I just thought it would be better if when they have it, it's back to sort of stock. So that's what I've done. So it's going in tomorrow and I'm getting it back in a few days' time. So I thought this was an opportunity to let you know what's going on. And really we'll go from there. Now, I've got to ask a favour of you. If you could spend the time just to have a look at the pictures when the bike comes back, because from what I understand, what Delkevic will do is they supply a wide range of silencers, and I don't think they're going to make one specific to this bike. They're not going to really go out of the way to find something that looks exactly the same as stock. What they'll do is they'll provide me with a downpipe and a decat pipe or a link pipe and a rear silencer, pretty much of my choice. And the silencers can be seen on their website, shortly adorned by my Classic 350, no doubt. But what I'd like you to do, and what I did say I would do, but I need your help in this, is to ask for your feedback. So I'll tell you how it's running. We'll go for a ride when we get it back. But just how it looks, what do you think about it? Is it something that you'd consider buying, or is it something that you wouldn't consider buying, or are you sort of on the fence of it? You know what I mean? So if you'd be good enough to comment for me, that'd be lovely, and then I can pass on the comments to the lad who's involved in developing it for this bike. If successful, it will be a nice alternative to the ones that are already out there from a reputable company. The exhaust will come with a 5-year guarantee. I believe they offer free postage, and I know I'm sounding a little bit like an advert, but it's the least I owe them to have a look. It is an option, and options are always good, are they not? So please, when I get it, I'll take some photographs of it, I'll pop it on here, I'll tell you how it's riding, and I will be genuine, I'll be honest, I'm nothing to hide, they're not into me for anything or anything like that. I'll tell you what it's like, you tell me what it looks like and what you think of it, and that feedback will be invaluable to them moving forward and developing exhausts. So I'm going to be bikeless for the next day or so I won't be able to produce much content because my bike will be up there while they're messing about with it. I should get it back at the weekend, but at least that'll give the camera people time to sort me camera issues out. So by the time we're up and running, so early possibly next week, I should be back on stream and I'll have this update for you for this exhaust. So thank you for bearing with me. Now, I'd be neglecting my duties if I didn't say thank you so much to all the people who've supported me up to now. All the people who've subscribed, all the people who've left a comment, all the people who sent me photographs, and there's always room for more, and I'm going to come on to some of those now. So if you sent me a photograph, stay tuned, and I'm going to pop you. It seems an ideal time to pop the great pictures on that I've been receiving. If you've got a picture for me, send it to shottostravels@gmail.com, and I'll pop them on in the future. So thank you so much, and don't forget, it really does support the channel, it really does help no end if you click the subscribe button. And as I've said before, not just for me but for any other YouTuber, particularly in the motorcycle fraternity, who's putting effort into making these vlogs that people seem to find so interesting. I do myself, I watch loads of them, but if you could subscribe, that'd be marvellous. So let's get on with a few of these smashing pictures. First up, we've got Barry Wilton. I can't remember where he's in the UK somewhere, and he sent a picture of two bikes, a Halcyon Black 350 Classic, which is absolutely wonderful, one of my favourite colours. And he's also sent us a picture of these Halcyon Black in the shed with its stablemate is a 650 Bonneville. Now, he's in the process of recommissioning this 650 Bonneville, but by all accounts, it's a very rare bike, this is. It's the last right-hand gear change, right foot gear change 650 to leave the factory in Meriden in the early 70s. There was a magazine article with it. It was featured in Classic Bike magazine but in the early 70s, when NVT shut the gates to the factory in Meriden, apparently loads of bikes were locked inside. Now, most of them were 750s, but there was just a few 650s. The outgoing ones, the last ones they'd ever made, and by all accounts Barry's got the very last one, so that's smashing to see. That's a bit of history, Barry, so thank you very much for sending that in. Okay, John from Cheltenham here in the UK. I know Cheltenham reasonably well. He sent a picture of his two bikes. He says not that he likes Enfields or much, but he's got an Interceptor just like the one I used to have. Was that called Candy Crush Orange or just Candy Crush or something like that? He's got an Interceptor and he's got a Scram. To be honest, John, I haven't had much to do with Scrams. I've seen them in dealerships, but I've had a Himalayan, but I imagine they're very, very similar. I'm pleased to see you've got a comfy seat on your Interceptor, because I found my I seem to go on about seats a lot, don't I? I think it's my size and my frame and my backside, but I just think that if you can't ride the thing, it's not worth having, you know, if you're in agony after 50 miles. But I'm glad to see you've got the seat sorted in that department, mate, and thank you very much for sending your pictures in. Okay, now Phil Lee. He's not far from me. He's in a place called, I think he's from Crewe. So yeah, he's 20 miles away from where I am, and he sent us a picture. Now he calls it his humble little Lex Moto. Now, Phil, don't be saying things like that, because I'm telling you, mate, honest to goodness, we need people. You see all these bikers on these bikes, and they're all old blokes, you know, and I know there's a few young uns coming through, but it's not like it was in my day. And you know, we should be encouraging people to take up motorcycling, but we know the government really don't make it easy for us nowadays, do they? There's so many hoops you have to jump through with CBTs and this test and off-road and theory tests, and they don't make it easy for you at all. But we should be encouraging people to get into motorcycling, so you are more than welcome to come, and don't call it a humble little Lex Moto. It's a stepping stone to bigger things. And as you say, he tells me that his mates used to be into biking, but he really wasn't when he was so young. But he's getting into them now as his mates are getting back to bikes, and he says he's riding round the lanes of Cheshire. Oh no, I'm terribly sorry. He said that his dad used to ride round the lanes of Cheshire, and he's riding round them lanes now on his little Lex Moto, and his dad used to have an Enfield. So he says, you can see where I'm going with this. So Phil, you'll be very welcome. Get that test passed, and then get yourself a Classic or a Meteor or something like that, and you won't go wrong, mate. You'll love it. You're very, very welcome to join our motorcycle community, and your little Lex Moto looks fantastic. I've got another picture from Dave. Now he's in Manchester, so again, he's not far away from me, and he sent us a few pictures the other day. He's got a Super Meteor and a Honda, and he's got his Interceptor, and there's another picture of his Interceptor here. But what's interesting is the bike in front is his wife's. She's got an AJS Modena scooter, so I imagine that's a 125. So how brilliant's that? Hey Dave, thanks for sending that in. I really wish I could get my missus to ride her own bike, but I think that door's firmly shut now. So, but that's grand. Nice to see, mate. Great little scooty. David Mitchell. Now, David, not quite sure where he is, but David sent me some lovely pictures, and a lovely picture of his Australian Labradoodle. I've got an Australian Labradoodle as well. So we're going to get a picture of Haggis the Labradoodle. That's fantastic. And three of his bikes. He's got 3 bikes. Now, David was also telling me that he did a little bit of ringing round, and he 3 different Enfield dealers and 3 different first service prices. Now, as he says, of course, a garage in London might have higher overheads than somewhere else, so they're entitled to charge a bit more. But he got a quote of 180, £220 and £260. So as you can see, and we're all aware, aren't we? They can set their own pricing. But anyway, David's got a Triumph Bobber 1200. He's got a BMW 1200, and he's got a 350 Chrome Classic. So they look fantastic, Dave. So so thank you so much for sending them in, and enjoy your retirement, mate. Let's hope the sun shines and we can get out on them a bit more soon, eh? Thanks for sending them. Brilliant. And last but not least, we've got a good supporter of my little efforts, my little channel here. This is Pete in Normandy. We've had a few conversations with Pete, and he sent us a picture here, a great picture. He said it was taken a few years ago when he got a Buell XB 1200 Ulysses. Do you remember them? Do you remember Buells? You don't see many of them about nowadays, do you? But at least not in these parts. But I nearly bought one of them once, yeah. A Buell XB 1200. And he says, these are a picture of a grinning idiot, and he's above the clouds in the Pyrenees a few years ago. If you look at that picture, what a fantastic picture above the clouds in the Pyrenees. Hey, you'll ever likely have a grin on your face, Pete. Thank you so much for sending it in, mate, and thank you for supporting my little efforts here. It's great to see. Thank you. So that's it for my pictures. I'm all pictured out now. So please help me. Feel free, send me a picture. Send me a picture of yours. Tell me where it is. Tell me your name. Tell me what the bike's name, and tell me what it is, because I don't know all these things, particularly the modern stuff. But send me a picture and I'll pop it on for you so that everybody can see. They're lovely to see. I do know people, people have contacted me and said they love seeing the pictures. So please feel free to send them in. And thanks for sticking with me on this one. It's a little bit of it's not really a hotspot. It's just keeping you informed what's going on. I might go a little bit quiet for a day or two because I'm waiting for my camera to be sorted, and I'll have to be waiting for my bike to come back now. So, but as soon as I get it back, I'll be out on it, and I'll let you know how this exhaust is. And please, as I said earlier, feel free to I want you, I'm asking you, please, to comment on the exhaust. If you think it's rubbish, say so. If you think it doesn't look right, say so. If you think it looks okay, say so. If you think it looks brilliant, then say so. You know, just let us know, because my mate is doing this for me, says that would be really useful to him. You know, feedback's always good, and there's no real bad feedback. He just wants to know what you think, and he would really appreciate that. So I'm going to wrap it up now. Thanks for watching. Feel free to send me some more photographs. I'm all out of photos now, so shottostravels@gmail.com. That'd be wonderful. Give me a like. Feel free to make a comment, and I'll see you on the next one.